Ivan Toney be leaving Brentford this summer? Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Welcome to another video. Yes, that's where today's video is going to centre around, it's going to focus around the future of Ivan Toney, which has seemingly had a lot of speculation surrounding it and has been up for discussion for seemingly a very long time now. Or a lot of last season, maybe even a lot of the season before, we've been questioning what the future holds for Ivan Toney. Where will his footballing future lie, and with which club? Will he stay at Brentford? Will he go to the likes of Arsenal and Chelsea and Liverpool and Tottenham and whoever else you can name that has been linked with him over the years? Will we get an answer this summer? Well, with him entering the final year of his current Brentford contract, we may get an answer this summer or next summer. Definitely within the next year or so, we will know what the footballing future holds for Ivan Toney. But I just wanted to talk about what the immediate future may lie, because if immediate future reports are to be believed, he could be going to Tottenham this summer. We're going to dive a little bit more into the reports. We're going to dive into a little bit more about Ivan Toney and everything else in between. But before we go any further, I would like to remind you all to please like the video and also subscribe if you're new. Both things are always and very greatly appreciated. Get involved in the comment section as well. I'm sure you have a lot of interesting thoughts, comments, opinions, predictions, feelings, whatever you want to call it in regards to Ivan Toney and this whole transfer saga. So please do use and abuse that comment section, people, and let me know what you guys are thinking. I would love to hear from you all on this footballing and transfer topic. But without further ado, let's get on with the video. Let's talk Ivan Toney and a potential move to Tottenham. So you'll know that over the past year or 2 years, there's been a lot of speculation surrounding Ivan Toney. There's been a lot of talk about where his footballing future may lie. And especially more so over the past year or so. We know obviously about Ivan Toney's gambling issue that has seen him be banned for, I think it was something like 8 or 9 months or something. And of course, that took a big hit on Brentford, because I personally believe that if that ban hadn't have come into play, if of course he was squeaky clean and everything, Brentford may have faced a lot more competition to sell him on last summer. I feel like last summer would have been a good opportunity for a lot of teams that were looking for strikers to maybe go in for Ivan Toney. Maybe they saw him at the right time, right place, to go and sign a striker of his calibre, of his quality, and with everything else that he possesses. So I feel like the ban was sort of a blessing and a curse a little bit for Brentford. But now we are in the present day, and the price tag that was being talked about 6 months ago, when obviously the January transfer window was around, Ivan Toney's ban was about to be up and dealt with. We're now looking at a drop-off in valuation from Brentford. A lot of talk over the summer that Brentford's valuation, that was once standing at somewhere between 80 million to 100 million, has now dropped to 50 million. And of course, the main reason why that is, it's a combination of his ban, it's a combination of his injury, but I think mainly it is down to the fact that he's only got 1 year left on his current deal with the Bees. Obviously, entering the final year, it doesn't seem likely that he's going to be re-signing with the club, so Brentford will want to get something out of him rather than nothing, where they could lose him on a free transfer at the end of next season. So that's been the story all summer. But the strange thing about this is, for me, if that is true, if 50 million is the price tag for a Premier League proven goal scorer, a Premier League proven player with now a vast amount of experience under his belt, entering the prime years of his footballing career. He's 27 years of age, so he's about to enter the prime years of his footballing career. With his physicality, his strength, his build-up play, his hold-up play, like I say, his ice-cold goal-scoring ability, penalty-taking as well, he's cool and calm under pressure. He's not exactly slow either, he's pretty quick. He's got a whole host of attributes that would make him a star signing, a quality signing, and is probably one of the best strikers in the Premier League for just those kinds of things alone. Not just his goal scoring, but his overall build-up play, his overall team play. Why haven't others jumped on this? We know he's been linked with the likes of Arsenal and Chelsea and Liverpool, just to name a few. Why haven't they jumped on it? Especially when you consider that at least two of those teams, Arsenal and Chelsea, are looking at strikers. Liverpool, we've got Darwin Núñez. And yes, a lot of Liverpool fans would take Ivan Toney over Darwin Núñez, but they're not running the club. I would take Ivan Toney over Darwin Núñez right now, but I'm not running the club. So it's somewhat understandable as to why the interest has seemingly cooled on Ivan Toney from Liverpool's part. But the Chelsea and Arsenal links are still there. And there's talk that they are still interested. They are still monitoring the situation. But they want the price to be lowered because he's in the final year of his contract. And they feel they may have a bit of a better chance of maybe taking him on a free next season should it come to that. But they're willing to wait and they're willing to gamble, it seems. Now, of course, there are other strikers that those two teams are being linked with. We know that Arsenal are looking at Sporting's Victor Gyökeres. I hope I'm pronouncing that name right. I'm really sorry. I do butcher names, so I do apologise. And we know that Chelsea have been linked with Manchester City's Julian Alvarez, who, of course, if reports are to be believed, certainly wants to leave the Etihad this summer. So, those two clubs may be looking elsewhere, maybe looking at better value, younger talent maybe. Maybe that has something to do with it. Maybe they're a better fit. I'm not necessarily sure that is the case, but, you know, there are maybe elements there that maybe they can get better value for money elsewhere. And then over the past few days, Tottenham's name has been gathering momentum on this topic. Tottenham's name has been mentioned a lot, and the story's been getting stronger and stronger and stronger and stronger. And yesterday was very interesting because a report came out from TalkSport. So, yeah, TalkSport. Just take it with a pinch of salt on this. And they basically say that Ivan Toney has got his heart set on a move to Tottenham this summer, despite interest from Arsenal and Chelsea. Now, I wouldn't have put Tottenham as the favourites to go and sign Ivan Toney. Ironically, I said to a friend who's a Tottenham fan, he may have had a bet on Tottenham signing him to win a lot more money. No, we shouldn't joke about that. No. So, it's come from TalkSport, so take it with a pinch of salt. But it seems that Ivan Toney has got his heart set, seemingly, on a move to Spurs. Now, I think it would be a good move for Spurs. Not necessarily a good move for Toney. I think that he'd probably have more of a chance of maybe winning silverware, or the same amount of chance of winning silverware with Brentford than he does with Tottenham. But in saying that, it would be a great move for Spurs. Spurs in need of a striker. He's clearly an upgrade on Richarlison. If they somehow obviously get Richarlison to be sold to a Saudi club because Saudi are that desperate, then they'll obviously have more money to obviously spend on him and other players. We know that obviously they've gone for a bit of a clear out. They haven't exactly spent any or a lot of money this summer, so there's still a lot of room to work with if you're Spurs this summer. And Ivan Toney would be a fantastic signing for them. The fact of him linking up with the likes of Son on one side, Kulusevski on the other, James Maddison just in behind him, it would be a very frightening front four. It very well would be a very frightening front four that would terrify a lot of defences in the Premier League. So the possibility and the potential is certainly there. Him working with Ange Postecoglou in that kind of system, he's going to get a lot of chances. His build-up play is going to be a strong asset in that team. He's going to bring others into play. It's going to work well with the inside forwards that they have in Kulusevski and Son, of course. I just see this working in a lot of ways, but I don't necessarily think it would be the perfect move for Ivan Toney if this was to obviously come to fruition. Now, obviously, in recent days, more stuff has come to light in regards to Brentford's situation, and there could be a bit of a spanner in the works when it comes to this potential transfer move. Brentford's new signing, their new striker that has seemingly been brought in to fill the shoes of Ivan Toney, seeing as though it was seemingly likely that he would be leaving Brentford this summer, has gotten himself injured in pre-season. He's picked up a meniscus injury in pre-season, and it seems like he's going to be facing a lengthy spell on the sidelines for a while. That may, according to reports today, throw a bit of a spanner in the works, and it may force Brentford into keeping Ivan Toney until at least January. Not the ideal situation for Brentford to be in, because the likelihood of them getting rid of Toney in January just went down again. Teams, unless they are desperate, will not be paying any money in January for a guy who's only got 6 months left on his contract. It's very unlikely. And if you are going to be paying money, you're going to be paying for an absolute steal of a price. Somewhere in the region, I would imagine, of 15 to 20 million. It would be a steal, but if you're in a very good position, like what Arsenal probably would be in by that point, you would imagine that they could fancy their chances of picking him up on a free. And if they don't, that's 15 to 20 million to 30 million that they can maybe put on a player elsewhere that would benefit the team just as much or even better. There's a lot of layers to this story. There's a lot of intrigue to this story. The new signing, Igor Thiago. I don't know how you would fully pronounce it, but I want to say Igor Thiago. I say Igor. I'm stupid. Yes, the injury to him has seemingly thrown a spanner in the works. There is still obviously the possibility that Brentford could sell Toney and then go after someone else. Maybe they go for like a loan signing or something, depending on how deep the injury is, depending on how costly the injury is to the length of time that he'll be out for. So there is a lot riding on this. There is a lot there to obviously unpack and to unfold. If you're Tottenham, I would be excited by the potential of this. If you're Arsenal and you're Chelsea, like I say, again, I'm very much surprised that no one's gone in for him at the price of 50 million. I understand he's got a year left on his contract, but for 50 million for a 27-year-old striker, Premier League proven, got all the strengths and good qualities and attributes of a good quality striker that I think would bed in extremely well with an Arsenal. And definitely a Chelsea, but I'm looking at Arsenal in particular as a team that's going to be challenging Manchester City next year, and I'm looking at them going, you're an upgrade on Gabriel Jesus, you're a definite upgrade on both him and Eddie Nketiah. You score goals, you're more lethal. If anything, Arsenal do need a striker that's going to score scrappy goals, or is going to only need one or two chances per game to kill a game off. I'm questioning why Arsenal aren't going for this. I think if obviously Victor Gyökeres is going to be the guy that Arsenal sign, I think it's a gamble. I know he's had a fantastic season over in Portugal, but that's the Portuguese league. It's a lot to be decided to transfer that kind of run of form over to the Premier League, with all due respect. I'm a bit surprised that Arsenal haven't pulled the trigger on this already, or any team for that matter, any of the big teams. But it could all be for Tottenham's game if things are to be believed that are coming out in recent days. Ivan Toney seems to have his heart set on Tottenham. We obviously wait and see what happens in this transfer saga, but of course these are just the thoughts, comments, opinions, predictions, feelings, whatever you want to call it, of this guy. I want to know what you guys think. What do you make of Ivan Toney to Tottenham? Do you think that this will come to fruition? Do you think that this will happen? Or do you think that Ivan Toney will stay at Brentford? Or maybe he will go elsewhere? Maybe an Arsenal will eventually come in for him. Maybe a Chelsea will eventually come in for him. I am interested to know what you guys think and feel. So please do use and abuse that comment section down below, people. Give me your thoughts, comments, opinions, predictions, feelings, whatever you want to call it on this particular topic. Love to hear from you all down below. Otherwise, hit the like button on the way up. If you enjoyed the video, subscribe if you're new or want to see more content like this. Both things are always and forever greatly appreciated. Again, get involved in the comments. Would love to hear from you all. Thanks everyone for watching and listening. I've been Fletch. This has been another Fletch Talks video. Appreciate you all for stopping by. And I'll see and speak to you all again soon in another video or live stream or whatever it may be. Cheers guys, thanks everyone for watching. Take care, enjoy the rest of your day. Speak to you all again very, very soon.